Welcome to Life, Laughter, Divorce, episode 99. I'm your host, Leanne Linsky.
And I'm the boyfriend.
Welcome back to another wonderful week of
Divorce. We had you there.
Yeah, you did. Hey, while you're out there tuning in, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Give us some feedback. And also check out the website at lifelaughterdivorce.com. I think we've sold out about everything in the store. So you're probably not going to find anything left. So I hope you found something for your loved ones for the holidays. But hey, what we do still have is life coaching sessions. And that's a fantastic way to start the year off right. So why don't you book your session with yours truly? Your first one is free.
It's fancy too, because how do they do it? They go on there, they click a link, and then the link does what?
It takes you to my calendar so that you can find a time and date that works for you. And it's an hour one-on-one session. We can either do it live in person if you're in the area, or we can do it via Zoom, and I'll send you a link.
What is this calendar thing? So it's just like shows up a bunch of days and time?
It's from old, long time ago. It's how people track time, boyfriend.
Wow.
Yes, it's called a calendar. So not to be confused with a colander, which strains things.
Boo. So do they select days and times, and they're just day and a time, and it works?
Time zone, the whole thing, and then there's a little question for you, and it's pretty easy.
I don't have to go to this thing. I can just
That's right. And that's
coach me.
Exactly how he does it. Hey. So make sure that happens, and I hope you guys are getting through the holidays. We've had a lot of experts with their tips and how to reduce your stress, especially if you have kids and you're co-parenting and trying to figure out the hectic schedule with your partner or your ex-partner. I'm kind of, we're getting to the very end of the year here, and I'm very excited because I think we need to end on a high note with a happy ending. And
really?
Not that happy ending. Boyfriend, that would be a different podcast. But I'm really excited because this week, it's the end of the year, and it's kind of like, I personally can't wait for this year to be done.
I think there's probably a lot of people out there in the same boat.
Yeah,
I want this year to be finished.
Yeah, certainly. I feel like I know that the minute January 1 happens, we just don't immediately forget about this year, and then everything's great and rainbows and leprechauns and all those kind of things. But at the same time, I feel like it's an opportunity to look at something for a fresh start, and that's exciting to me.
Fresh start and a little bit of reflection and moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I don't know. And speaking of fresh starts, I think that's why I'm excited about today's guest. We invited back Barry Weisenberg, who was on a couple episodes ago, and in that episode, I'm kind of laughing because our mutual friend Kathleen, who was on another episode, she pointed out, I kind of like how Barry interviewed you on that. He kind of flipped that on you, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, he did. And Barry's really fun to have around. We talked all about comedy and a whole different thing, but this time we get a little bit more personal with Barry. We kind of find we learned
a lot about Barry in this episode, which was good. And we learned a lot of good things about Barry in this episode.
Yeah. And I just think that I'm excited that this is our last episode of the year. Well, besides our year-end review coming up, but with a guest where it's a happy ending. So I think we should just get back to it and get into our guest here, because we also have a surprise guest. And Barry brings his girlfriend, known as the girlfriend. Inspired by the boyfriend. So without further ado, Mr. Barry Weisenberg and the girlfriend. So Barry, welcome back to Life, Laughter, Divorce podcast.
Thank you.
And the girlfriend.
Yes. I brought her along because she has a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's she's sitting way back far away from the mic because she's convinced she's not going to have anything to say. So that's okay. It's kind of like the boyfriend.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I get my little things in here and there.
Yes, you do. And this is exciting because this is another in-person
Right.
episode. And I like these because then the boyfriend's here. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, it got deadly silent. So, Barry, I'm glad you're back because
Thank you.
the last episode you were on, you kind of did interview me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you see how you flipped that on me?
I know because I'm self-conscious and I don't always like to talk about myself.
And our friend Kathleen, hey,
Yeah.
Kathleen, shout out to Kathleen again.
Hi, Kathleen.
So Kathleen was like, I love how Barry turned it around and interviewed you. I was like, yeah, I know. I thought about that the whole way home. So that was very slick. But this time, we get to focus on Barry.
Okay. Barry is a very complex individual with very low self-esteem, but I must have done something right. And
Yep.
we'll cover this. I'll cover the progression because I got to meet girlfriend who's phenomenal. And we've been together over 2.5 years, and everything is just magnificent. It's exactly what I always wanted when I was in my 20s and 30s. It just shows it's never too late for it to happen.
Wow. How do you feel about that, girlfriend?
He's very complimentary.
He is. He talked
It's
highly
very
of you
nice.
last
It's
time.
very nice to have somebody talking nice about you and sweet about you and let you know that you're important to him.
Because she went through a bad time herself in her relationship, not getting what she wanted. And now that I've met her, I'm not only making sure that she gets the thing, I've gotten what I wanted, and I want to make sure she gets what she wants, which is love and affection, and I can't give her enough.
And a new car. Oh, just throwing that out there.
A refrigerator, a trip to Paris. Yes. You'll fly TWA.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, girlfriend, I'm kind of curious. So, were you married before?
Yes.
Scooch up to, it's not going to bite. And nobody knows who you are because
Right.
you're doing the boyfriend thing by going by the girlfriend tonight. So, it won't bite, I swear.
Okay.
This is not a microphone from a comedy show, so it's safe to touch. We don't, anytime in a comedy show. So, you were divorced before?
Yeah, so I was married for over 20 years
Wow.
and then divorced for a few years. And then I met Barry, and
We
it's been
met-
very nice.
We met online.
Ooh, which site?
Can I go ahead and mention it? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Match, right? Match.com.
We want a sponsorship.
Okay.
No.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I tried over the years, I tried a lot of other dating sites, and I'm very shy. I know that sounds odd, but you know how comics are.
Yep.
Right? Only on stage do we blossom. So I'm very shy, but I went on Match.com. She reached out to me.
Did you wink at him? Isn't that what Match has? Like winks or something?
No, I wrote to him.
Oh, okay.
And I answered back. We exchanged a few emails, and we agreed to meet. And as soon as we met, I went, "Oh my God, she is just terrific." And everything about her was just magnificent. She was gorgeous. She is gorgeous. She was talkative, funny. When we showed up, I had already ordered a drink for her. She was very thankful about that. Everything just went great. And then I said, "Let's meet again." And she was agreeable to it. And it was a minor snag. The only minor snag that happened after the second time, right, was your father.
After the first
time, her father had passed away.
Oh, no.
And so I didn't know the proper protocol. How long do you wait for someone to get through mourning the loss of a loved one until you can call? And I didn't want to call right away because I thought, God, that might be rude or tacky. And then I think
I called you after
you called
2
me.
weeks.
She had advice from her mother that says, give him a call. And thank God she did. And we've been going out ever since.
Wow.
And it's just everything that I could ever dream of. And I couldn't, and I, believe it or not, even though I grew up with low self-esteem and in high school, oh my God, I never thought I'd be with any women at all. I was so, in my mind, so ugly. And over the years, I dated different women, and many were great, not all of them. But as soon as I met her, I went, she's it. And 2.5 years later, we're still together.
So, girlfriend, what did you think when you first met Barry? Scoot into the microphone so we can hear this.
He was cute and he was funny, and he was very interested in what I had to say and kept asking me questions. So it was nice, and we just got along. We'd been to like the same concerts like 20 years ago and stuff, and we had the same ideas about things. And
she's Jewish, and she's a great conversationalist.
And I'm a horrible cook, and he thinks I'm the best cook. He thinks I'm the greatest.
God, I think she's phenomenal.
Really?
Oh.
What? Okay, so wait. What is a favorite dish that she makes, Barry?
She makes wonderful eggs, magnificent eggs, great breakfasts. She also makes me rice. I'm serious. I mean, you have no clue how appreciative.
Hold on. What did you eat before you met her? That's it.
TV. I survived on TV dinners.
Really?
Yeah. I would go to the market, buy TV dinners, throw them in the cart because they're fast, right? You'd say they're done. And she's,
If I serve him a glass of water, he's just so thankful.
Wow.
You know, I bought him a sweater for his birthday or something.
Oh, all of it.
And he's like, nobody ever bought me. I go, no girlfriend's ever brought you a gift before. And he's acted like,
Really?
no.
But I've had gifts, but not clothes, not clothes that fit, clothes that are smart, that look good. Oh no, she's done everything for me. Stuff that I couldn't do for myself, she's done.
Wow.
She's just magnificent.
Now he's going to look really good for other women.
Yeah, right.
Because I dressed him well, and
I have nobody.
I groomed his hair. He's out of the 80s.
Yes, I used to groom my
like
hair.
he was in the 80s.
Yeah, very long. And I still have this habit of wearing button-down shirts with the shirt open to here from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she cracks me on that.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
button up.
Yeah, that's good.
She is so.
Look at the boyfriend. He's dying over here. He's like, no.
Does he agree with all this, or
I figure I have an 8 to 10 year window because he's had relationships for 8 to 10 years, just one after another. So I said, we'll see how long my record is. We'll see what he thinks after 8 to 10 years.
Wait a minute, Barry. So you've had 8 to 10 year relationships?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Shockingly, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, like I said, in high school, I never thought I'd amount to anything. With women. And I used to say to my brother, I'm never going to get any dates. Right. And then my brother says, remember I mentioned, wait till you're in your 30s, your 40s. And it just started to happen. And I don't know what I did differently, but it started to happen. And I never really, in all these years, never had a one-night stand. I would always have relationships. The longest one was 10 years. And like I said, I always treated women like, they weren't just playthings. I wanted to be in a relationship with them because I love, being with one person. And I never tried to multi-date. I would always try to stay with one person. And after the last one, who I had my son with, it lasted about 10 years. Then I met her.
Wow. All right.
I'm thrilled.
So now you're dressing nicer.
Thanks to her.
Right? Smarter.
She even said the other night, she goes, you look so good on stage the other night. So everything she's phenomenal. I come home from work. She's happy to see me. I mean, it's just, how could this be any better?
That's great.
It's just wonderful.
And you're eating great nutritional foods like rice.
Eating better.
And eggs.
I'm sleeping better. Everything is exactly what I had hoped to have when I was in high school. Yeah. So this is what I want. Now I have it.
Yeah. What about you, girlfriend? Like, how has this changed for you? What has this been like for you? What are your pros? She's looking at him.
I know. You know what she loves? We were talking about this earlier today, and we periodically talk about this. There are certain shows on TV that she loves to watch, like 90 Day Fiancé and Married at First Sight.
We've seen some of those.
I've not seen that one.
Okay, Married at First Sight.
We've seen the one where they judge each other's wedding.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Do you see that? That's insane.
And what she wants is what I'm happy to give her. She wanted love and affection. When she was with her ex, she couldn't say certain things without him kicking her under the table saying, don't say that. I love it when she talks. She's met a lot of my comic friends, and sometimes I run out of things to say. She can carry that conversation. I love someone that can do that. I love someone that doesn't mind making decisions for both of us. I love it that she loves affection, which I love giving her. Her husband just stopped giving that to her and kind of treated her badly. I shouldn't say kind of, did treat her badly. And I'm only happy to say, I always say to her, his loss is my gain.
Yeah.
Because I'm with the most terrific person I've ever met.
Wow. What do you think of this boyfriend?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
I am so happy.
I know the boyfriend's thinking, I think of all those things about Leanne as well.
And we constantly tell each other. We constantly
There's
say,
something wrong with him. He can't see. He can't hear.
No, I can't. I know. I have hearing problems. I need glasses.
He thinks I'm so magnificent. There's something wrong with him.
And every time someone will say that maybe hasn't talked to her in a while, or one of my comic friends, I'll say, oh, we've been together 2.5 years, so how is it going? And I'll go, oh, it's just magnificent. And I constantly use that word to describe her, magnificent, because it is. I mean, it's and we like the same things. We think the same way. The only thing that she wants me to be careful is not to overperform, is not to perform too much comedy, because then it takes away from time that I could be spending with her.
Oh, right.
And she's got a good point.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm kind of wondering, like you said, he must be blind and can't hear because he's giving you all of these compliments, right? Is that unusual for you?
Well, it's hard. I don't think women are used to so many compliments and stuff. So,
No.
I mean, it's nice. It's really nice that he likes the way I look. He likes what I wear. He likes, whatever I'm doing. He's like, oh, you did a great job with this. So
I'm very complimentary because she deserves it. When we first met and she walked in the door, I went, oh my God. She looked even better than her profile picture. And like I said, I had really warm fuzzies and I had great feelings. I said, boy, I want to see her again. And it's just...
And you have.
We get along really good. We don't fight. We don't really argue about things.
Yeah.
And he's very flexible. He is so easy to be with. He's the easiest person to be with.
When I grew up, my mom said two things. She said, never lose your sense of humor and never be inflexible. Always try to be flexible. And I remember those two things. And she says a lot of things that crack me up. Every once in a while, she'll do my monologue.
Really?
Just cracks me up to no end. She does it better than I do. I've told her, you should go on stage. You'll get bigger laughs than me.
So you're doing his whole comedy set.
Yes.
Sometimes, but it's not as good as his, but it cracks him up, so it's funny.
It's very funny to see her do it.
Nice.
I have a son, I think I mentioned, and he's just great. He's the love of my life, and he's terrific and great and smart. He needs to do a little bit better job on his reading, but he's very, very good at math, and I love him. I was in a relationship there with 10 years. That lasted about 10 years. We started to go our separate ways. I feel bad about it because I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm sorry that it happened, but at the same time, out of that came something good.
Right.
So, they say, I know it's a cliche. They say, oh, one door closes, another opens.
Yeah.
In this case, it did.
Yeah.
It really did.
It's so nice that you see that. I'm wondering, is your son, is he like you were growing up?
Yes. And
really?
He looks almost, he's a mini me.
Really?
Yeah. He's a better looking version of me. Thank God. He doesn't have buck teeth. He has blonde hair. He's extremely good looking.
But you don't have buck teeth. Really?
Yeah, I used to constantly get razzed. If you had seen pictures of me in growing up, my teeth somehow looked like the size of an airplane. It was pretty bad. And I was very, very self-conscious of it.
Yeah.
And I constantly got teased no matter where I went. And it really bothered me.
So when it comes to your son, like how have you talked to him about those things? Or when you see things that are similar? When
I see things like, I used to get, and I'm not making this up, I used to constantly get beat up. Constantly. And I've seen other little kids try to pick on him. He doesn't take any crap.
Really?
Yeah, he's a fighter. I was not. So he already has that ingrained. He doesn't let anyone pick on him. He fights back. So I'm glad to see that. Not that I want him to be violent. I just want to know that he can stand up for himself.
Yeah.
He's come to a lot of my shows. He's run on stage after I've gotten done. He grabs the mic. He doesn't know what to say, but he's done that.
So he's like a lot of comics when they're starting out. They just get up there and grab the mic and stare.
He actually has better material than most of the comics that are out there. He's very funny. He's very cute. No matter where we go, everybody always says, your son is so cute or so good looking. God, thank God my ex-girlfriend fooled around on me. Thank God. No. Because that's where I think he got the look. No, he's just a very, very good looking 8-year-old.
And
incredible.
so he's 8. So he's not into girls yet, really?
No. I mean, they're his buddies and,
Yeah.
But no, he's right now with all his buddies, and that's more important to him. But the girls, no, not yet. But in my opinion, he's going to be a lady killer.
Yeah. So, all right. Now I'm curious about that. So what would you like to see him? How would you like to see him differently than you or the same?
Well, I already see that, like I said, everybody just gravitates to him. He has incredible charisma, and people just, ever since his birth, he's gotten nothing but gifts from people.
What?
I mean, everybody, I am a sucker for him. I buy anything he wants. But other people give him gifts. So yes, he's a little bit spoiled, but he's, in my opinion, I think he's going to be in for a great life. He's so good looking. And in this society, there seems to be a bias toward good looking people.
Yeah.
And I really think that that's going to play in his favor.
But what can he learn from what you experienced?
Well, I'm trying to, and he cracks me up. So he already has a good sense of humor, and I'm trying to, I don't have to do too much to instill that in him. He has that.
Yeah.
But I grew up with a certain mistrust of people because I always got bullied.
Yeah.
And I am telling him, you can't always assume that everybody is a good person. There are a lot of evil people in the world. And I do talk to him and say, I want you to avoid this and in life and don't do that and be careful of this. So I do try to pass along my life issues that I've experienced and the solutions to him as best I can. I love him. I want him to have a great life.
Yeah. You have a question, boyfriend? Oh. So I'm wondering, so now the girlfriend, you've met your son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and that's working out okay.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes he gets angry at her because she'll say, okay, I want you to read this, because we're always trying to get his reading to be better.
Right.
And he gets upset. He goes, I don't want to do this. And I always say to him, I said, all right, son, don't be so rude. Come on. She's trying to be good to you. She loves you. She's bending over backwards for you. As he's starting to get older, he's now talking to her a little bit more and being thankful and all that. He has a way to go.
Yeah.
But she's done a very good job with him. She's very good to him.
What's it like co-parenting with your ex? How does that work?
Thank God that, because I know nothing about raising kids. And when we had the baby, I knew nothing, absolutely nothing. I was terrified. I wouldn't even hold him. I think I held him maybe once. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. So I really pushed it on her, and she really did all the work.
Wow.
I'm embarrassed to say it, but I was terrified. I didn't want to drop him. I was afraid to hurt him. I was afraid that I'd put him on top of my car and forget him.
Yeah. And people have done that.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. And I'm also terrified even now because he's so cute that, there's a lot of people out there that would want to kidnap him or something. And I'm always, always on the lookout for anyone that I think might, I constantly look at him no matter where we go. I just go, where are you? Where are you? So I get worried about him.
Yeah. So is it when you guys split up because you weren't married? So
right.
This is different, right? So you don't have all these legal things in the way. You didn't have to. How did you figure out your custody or your co-parenting?
We just talked about it.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, that conversation went well. Yes, there were some bad moments. as we were starting to break up. But she always knew that I couldn't raise him. And I knew that I couldn't. And sometimes now I look back and I said, well, if I had raised him, I would do some things differently. But I have to be grateful to her for doing that job.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
But you've been an active parent.
What's that?
When you say she raised him primarily, did you just see him on weekends and things like that?
I mean,
okay.
I still try to see him when I can, but primarily it's weekends. And my ex had 4 other kids, actually 5. Okay. And so she knew how to be a parent.
Right.
And she just did a great job, and it's something I couldn't have done. I would have been a horrible parent if I tried to raise him myself. I was afraid. I didn't know what to do. One night, when he was a baby, he had a really high temperature, and I started panicking. And I said, oh, my God, should we take him in? Should we take him to the ER? She said, no. I know how to handle this. And by morning, he was fine. I mean, it just goes to show. I couldn't have stayed up all night with a baby, then gone into work the next day. So she did a lot of work.
Right.
I'm pretty embarrassed to say that I didn't really do a good job with him.
Yeah.
But now I'm doing a much better job. You know, he and I are buddies. You know, we spend a lot of time together. I'll take him to stores. We screw around. We wrestle. He's great. But I did not do a good job early on.
Yeah. So, girlfriend, do you have kids?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Are they older?
2 kids.
Yeah.
Young adults.
Okay. So how is it being... So have you been in a relationship with somebody else who's had kids before?
No.
Okay. So how does that feel like work for you? Like what have you learned from it?
Well, thank God because of that.
She's like, oh no.
Because she has kids, she knows, you know, how to raise a kid.
Yeah.
And how to talk to them. So thank God for that.
Because you have insight. Like you've already done this. And so now, right?
Yes.
Is it hard? You're kind of, so she's smiling and she's very shy.
Yes.
But like, I'm guessing that, because I've dated people with kids and I found that I've never dated anybody long enough to like be in a 2-year relationship with somebody with kids or anything like that, but just dated. Yeah. And I've met their kids. And that was hard because you just get to know them and it's like, okay, but my role is not their parent.
Right.
So you really have to take a step back and you have to step back, shut your mouth and wait for the parent to do the parenting.
Yes.
That's what I've had to do. And I tried to step in, I think, too soon or whatever, and I didn't get good response from him. And so now I've learned, I just kind of step back.
Yeah.
And let them have their weekends together and let them go off all day. And I don't go with, it used to be like, I want to go to lunch with them. Now it's like, if he has them, it's like, just take them out all day. Just do what you want. So I'm not the one doing something. Because when he's, if he misbehaves, I want to jump in and say something.
Yes.
And then I realize I shouldn't. Barry needs to do it, not me.
Yeah.
But I do take her advice because I know nothing.
Yeah.
And she's been there. She's done that. So I do listen to her a lot, and I take her advice.
There's been safety things where I want to like grab him. He's like going to fall in the water.
Right.
So I'll do that or something. But
other than that,
but then I'm realizing it's not my job to do it. It's his job.
Right. And I dated before her. I dated women who had kids.
Yeah.
But it's just what's been said. I didn't try to relate the kids as like, I'm stepping in now and I'm going to be your parent. I just related to them as person to person.
Yeah.
Which was a better role because I'm not trying to step in as their parent.
Right.
You know? But even though I dated women with kids, I still knew nothing about them. And like I said, I was terrified. Oh my God.
What scares you most about kids? Like, because you said a couple of times that you're terrified, but like mostly about what? What is it that you're most worried about?
I didn't know how to care for babies. And I was so afraid that I might hit them or drop them or not do the right thing. One time, my son got sick and had a high temperature, and I almost gave him adult Tylenol. And I think it was her or my ex said, no, you got to go out and get children's Tylenol. I never thought of that. And just that one possible mistake alone alerted me to saying, oh my God, can you imagine how many other mistakes I might have made?
Yeah.
So thank God I thought it was better to just stay away from it and let her raise them because she knew what to do more than I could.
Yeah.
And to be honest, looking back, I think that was probably the better decision.
But it sounds like you are close to him anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
But some things happened that I could have been closer.
Right.
But, you know, now I'm making up for lost time.
Right.
You know, and even though we're buddies, everyone, you know, I still have to be the parent and say, no, you can't have this. You can't do that. And, you know, he has his way of moping and sulking, and then I feel bad. And of course I give in. But
I'm looking at girlfriend because she's like smiling again.
Well, like I'm like, you get in the car to go somewhere, and I'm the one saying, do you have your shoes?
Yeah.
Let's go get his shoes. We shouldn't drive without shoes. And he's not very happy. The son's not very happy with me because he'd rather go without shoes, and then he wouldn't have to wear the shoes.
Right.
You know, so I'm the bad guy.
Right.
You know, and I'm
because you're being practical and you're taking care of things. Yeah.
like he loves the iPad. And if I take it away from him when we go to bed around 8 o'clock or so, he mopes. No, I want to stay up. And there's times where he stayed up on a school night till 2.
Oh no.
And then he goes to sleep the next morning. He's absolutely exhausted. And then the ex will call me and go, did he stay up? And I go, yeah, okay. I gave in to him. I gave in. See, I'm not a good parent. I give in to him too much. But I love him, so I want him to have everything. So it's a double-edged sword.
Right.
You know, but I could be better. When I was with the ex, I did go to one parenting class. And that really didn't prepare me for everything.
No?
No, I should have gone to about 50.
But then you would have been okay.
Yeah. And all the other guys I talked to in there, they had no clue what to do.
Oh,
they were just, we're all just sitting here. We were all saying, do you know what to do? I don't know.
Where was this parenting class, Barry?
In Riverside.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it wasn't at the Improv, was it?
No.
Because that's the last thing we need is a bunch of comics sitting around telling each other how to parent.
Right. Like comics, you know, are so known to be giving good advice, you know.
So I'm kind of curious. So girlfriend, so boyfriend and I, we don't have any kids. And a lot of times when we see other people with kids or something, it's easy for us to be like, why aren't they telling their kid to, you know, sit down? Like, why are the kids climbing all over the place? Why are the kids running around screaming like a bunch of crazy people and stuff? Do you ever, as being the parent coming in and you've already raised your kids, seeing this, like, and I am putting you on the spot. You can either answer or choose your own adventure. This is choose your own adventure episode. But like, do you find it hard, like when you see something like you're like, I would never let my kids do that?
Yeah, except now I know after having kids, sometimes you can't quiet them down and you can't keep them from running all over the place. Right. So you can see kids do run all over the place. In certain restaurants, maybe you let them run a little and then you go and you take them out or something so you don't disturb the other people, but you realize they're not. If you see a family where they're all sitting there so nice and eating and quiet, I mean, that's wonderful. That's unusual, I think.
That's because my dad would give us the eye and that was enough. We're like, okay, we won't move. We'll just eat dinner.
But see, I did what you said. I would, before I had a kid, I looked at other kids and I go, how come they're just not, you know, putting the baby in there or doing this or spanking them? It's not that way.
Yeah.
You know, when you're the parent,
it's different.
Yeah, it's different. You can't live someone else's life. Right. So
that's what I'm curious about. Like, how has it changed from your perspective? Because you became a parent.
God.
How old were you when you became a parent? Can I ask
he's 8 and I'm 62, so 54.
Yeah. So that's much later than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do you think that was part of it?
Probably. I never really thought that I'd meet anyone who wanted to have a child with me. And then I did, and I was just shocked. But yeah, it was pretty late in life. And I think that, you know, as people get older, they supposedly are supposed to get wiser. I think I became more stupid. No, I do. I think I became more stupid. So having him at 54, maybe I would have done better in my 30s.
Yeah.
But it never happened. But I will be honest, though. I can't, now that having had him, I can't imagine my life without him.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine my life without her either.
Yeah.
You know, I was so miserable before, and now I'm so happy. And I've got a son. I've got this terrific relationship. Oh, my God.
Well, okay, so I don't know how old girlfriend is, and I'm not going to be rude and ask. Barry, I'm just rude to you. But like, okay, so you've already raised kids. Is it hard now to have a younger get it wrong? Or is it easier maybe because you're like, oh, I get it. I know exactly what's going on.
It's hard, it's hard to say because I've had kids. I enjoy kids.
Yeah.
So it's like we can go to the museum. I like doing certain kid things. So that's kind of nice to have him, and let's take him here and let's take him there.
Yeah.
Maybe easier or more relaxed in a sense because you've kind of experienced.
I've done it. I've done it. Yeah. And I don't have complete control, so I don't have to worry about it. And times when he's running around, or I can go and I can shut the door, and I don't have to deal with them.
Right.
And it doesn't wake me up in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of the arts,
Right.
I know it's not a good segue.
Yeah. No,
Her
it is.
son is a phenomenal dancer.
Really?
Yes. And her daughter went to the high school performing arts school.
Yeah.
Has a phenomenal singing voice.
Wow.
And so both of her kids are very,
In the arts. Yeah.
And they're terrific.
Yeah.
And great kids, by the way.
So they probably appreciate you and your comedy.
Her son, not really, but her daughter does.
Yeah.
Because she's older.
Yeah.
And she loves the whole arts. And growing up, she used to, oh my God, she was phenomenal. So yeah, she's seen me perform many times, and she says, I really like your jokes. And I always try jokes out on her, and she's great. So her children are very, 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 very smart, very performance-minded.
No, what about your son? Is he performance-minded as well?
Not yet. He was in a school play for Thanksgiving, and he sat in the back. So I don't think he's there yet. We'll see what happens when he gets older.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, happens.
Right.
I would love it if he went into theater or stand-up or brain surgery, but...
yeah, it's either one or the other.
Right,
I mean, there's, only two. No, that's awesome.
So we'll see what happens.
So I'm excited. So this was kind of unexpected that you brought the girlfriend with you today.
I know. She didn't expect to be part of this, but she's so great that I knew that if I started talking about her, she might be inclined to join in.
Yeah.
So I thank you very much.
And I'm glad that we got to meet her because last week we heard about, or not last week, but the last episode, we heard so much about how it had been so difficult for you to find somebody. So I love this because this is also one of our last episodes of the year. And this is a very uplifting note on the fact that after all these years of really, really hard times in dating and life and just kind of finding yourself and finding your voice, that you have a really wonderful life.
Yeah, we do. And I very, very much appreciate the fact that you asked me to come back because I enjoyed the first episode. And that was very nice what you just said. And yeah, I think it's a great way to end it. I am so much in love. It's just incredible.
That's really nice. And that gives, I think, so many of us hope.
Yeah, second chances. I mean, I'm having a great life.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And
a few years ago, I never would have thought I'd have a great life again and meet a great guy and be so happy.
Yeah. So look at that, boyfriend. This is like a beautiful ending to a beautiful movie, isn't it?
In the basement.
In a basement.
Yeah.
But it is. It's true. I mean, here you went through a divorce after 20 years, and Barry, you spent all your life looking for somebody.
And now it's happened. And it happened when I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
For it. It just, there it was, because I never thought it would happen.
Right. And you probably wouldn't have appreciated each other the same way if you had met 20 years prior.
Yeah, we've talked about that too.
Yeah.
And we both agree on that. You're right.
So this is awesome. I'm so glad you came in and decided to talk to us.
Thank you very
and Barry,
much.
I'm glad you came back and shared your story.
Thank you.
Do you like how I got in there and asked the questions this time?
Yes. But you know what? It was great because last time we got to know about you. Now we got to know about me and us.
That's right.
So very grateful to you.
And I'm glad because being a comic and being a comedian and doing what you do, it's not always easy to find somebody who appreciates it, who understands it. And not only that, but she's standing there, doing your set and doing it well.
Yeah, I know. And how many comics can say they have a good relationship, right?
Not many.
Yeah, not many.
Right?
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year.